Hello guys, welcome to my next video. So as you guys know, we are learning Angular routing, and initially we have done all the setups. We have learned some simple steps in small videos I have showed you, and now we are going to work something more on this topic. And what is the current video's topic is to retrieve the query parameters in the TypeScript file in the TypeScript class. So far we have passed this parameter. If you follow my previous videos, you would have idea how we can pass parameters to the URL in Angular routing. Now to retrieve those parameters from the URL, we can also do that. And if you guys see my screen, if I go to home page and click on load servers, so you see there are parameters we have passed in the URL, and this is allow, edit, and the other parameter is fragment. If you guys don't know about fragment and these parameters, you can go back to my previous video and you can learn how we can actually pass these parameters. Now we are going to retrieve those parameters so that we can get to know how we can utilize that in our application. So all the setup is already done. You don't have to do anything. Just you have to go to my GitHub handler and download the code, and also just you can install that and code along with me if you are just following my videos, if you have just started following my videos. And we are here in added server. So to retrieve those, we have to import activate router link, and of course we will do that in constructor. I am gonna do that router, and this will be activated router. So I have added that. Remember guys, we have to import this activate router true in the TypeScript file. That is imported automatically. If you guys see, it is automatically imported here. And now we can use this router, and we can retrieve the parameters what we want. If you guys see here, we can just see those retrieved values in our console log too. So this dot router what we have just set in the constructor, and now it will be snapshot, and then we can get query params. In the snapshot we can get query parameters. Now when we get to that page, and if we see in console log, you will see this object with allow edit one. So here we have passed the parameter. Now we have retrieved those parameters, and you can see in the console log we have retrieved those values as allow edit object. Now the other thing is how we can retrieve this fragment thing also. There's another convenient way to retrieve that. As I told you, Angular is a very powerful framework, and it allows us to do lot more things easily in the framework. And of course we have learned passing parameters. Now we have retrieving it, so we can retrieve this fragment thing also. I'm just copying that, and now instead of query param we can add fragment. So now when we load the application, you will see both fragment and query param that will be in the URL what we have just displaying as output in our console log. So here it is allow edit. Now the other thing is loading. So remember guys, this loading thing is already passed in the URL, just to let you know that we are retrieving the correct parameters. Now I am going to add it, like I am just passing the name of fragment as test, and also the value of this allow edit as true. Now I have cleared the console log. If I reload the page, now you see values in the console log have been updated. It updated, and it just grabbed the correct values. Allow edit value has 2, and the fragment has value test. So this is how we can retrieve the query parameters and fragment from the URL. Now guys, in certain scenarios, I told you in my previous videos too, there could be certain scenarios when we want to update the DOM based on query parameter changes. Right now we have retrieved data with snapshot, but in certain scenarios we should be able to subscribe the query parameters. So purpose of this subscribing is basically if something changes in the query parameter and we stay on the same route, our DOM should be updated and we should be able to get the latest value from the URL, and we don't have to reload the page, we don't have to do anything. For doing that we have to basically subscribe that. How we can do that, let me show you. So here instead of doing snapshot we are directly calling query params, but that will not work for sure. I mean, this query parameter basically the observable. So in Angular, to get the value of observable, it is important, necessary and required to subscribe that. This is a generic rule for all the observables. To get the value we have to at least subscribe to that observable. So here I am going to subscribe it, and again same thing we will do for fragment. Here I am changing the name of query parameter as fragment. So how we can subscribe to these observable and we can get the data. And one thing is important, guys, once we subscribe these parameters, these observables, we can process, or we can work around on these values how we want. If you guys want to see how we can work around on this observable, you can see my previous videos too. There's a video related to observable, and you would have the idea how we can process the value of an observable. And there's one important thing to understand, that we don't need to unsubscribe the observable value. So this is the power of Angular. This will automatically unsubscribe once the observable is finished, or the purpose of this observable is completed and we get to another route. So the previous observable will be unsubscribed automatically. So this is how we can use observable, and we can retrieve the value, and we can make sure that we are not gonna lose our data. So guys, stay tuned. There's a lot more coming up in my next videos. I will keep you posted. Thank you so much.